Hey everybody, good morning. Ivan here. Welcome into another week, to another Monday, to another class. Excited about it. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great class, and I hope you're setting yourself up for a big and successful week. There's so much going on, hard to keep track of, but I've got post-it notes and I've got a little script paper to keep me straight, to keep me online, to keep me on track, and that's part of it. Organization, being able to juggle an awful lot of stuff all at the same time. Welcome in, settle in, find a chair, grab you something to drink, water, hydrate, you know how that goes. And let's get into today. We've got a great topic for today. Today's topic is actually an offshoot of last week's topic, and it was brought up in one of my programs by a class participant who said, hey, why don't we talk about that? And I said, hey, why don't we talk about that? So this week, that's what we're going to talk about. I didn't tell you what it is yet, but you know I will. We'll get there. Hang in there with me. Couple things I do want to talk about. Number one, the $100,000 Haircutter Academy that launched over the last 10 days. Thank you to everybody who signed up during the Founders launch. Welcome to this unique, one-of-a-kind success program for helping beauty and barber professionals build and grow their business. There's nothing else like it in the industry, and I'm excited to have that up and running. The Founders launch kicked off. We are taking waitlist names now for the next round. We're going to start people in the academy in batches. If you go to my Instagram and you go to my profile and you go to my links there, you'll find a link to get on the wait list. Now, there's no obligation. If you sign up for the wait list for the $100,000 Academy, you're not obligated to join at the next class, but it gets you on the mailings, it gets you the communication, so that if you do wish to sign up, you won't miss it, because it's going to open for a window, then we're going to shut it down, we're going to put everybody online into the Academy, and then we won't have another class starting. We're going to start in batches. So please know that that is going to be going on and that you can register for that. If you can't find the registration link, reach out to me through any form of communication, text, email, social media, whatever, and I will send you the registration link for that. I want to let you know about some other free stuff that's going on out there, because while it's out there and while it's free, take advantage of it. My 7 Steps to Better Haircut Consultation mini ebook. It's a freebie. Go to ivanzoot.com, and there's a pop-up banner across the top. Click on there to download your free copy. Totally free. 100 by 100. The 100 New Haircut Customers in 100 Days book right now, again, is free. Go to my website. Click on the link for 100 by 100, or go to my Instagram profile. You pay shipping and handling. That's it. You get this book, and this one is outselling every other book except 100,000. You get a copy of that book for free. And lastly, on the subject of free, I want to let everybody know that next week, Monday, that is a week from today. If today is 17, add 7 to 17. I think we're at 24. Next week, Monday, 8 p.m. on it's Zoom, is a free webinar. It is the Bump in the Slump, the business building post-coronavirus lockdown, as a free full-blown webinar. The link for that is on my Instagram. The link for that is on all my social places and spaces. If you cannot find the link, simply reach out and ask for the link. At some point later, I will put the link in the comment stream on this video, so anybody that wants it can have it there as well. But that's just some free stuff going on. You got a free ebook, you got a free webinar, you got a free book, and you've got the registration for the $100,000 Haircutter Academy. Let's get started. As is the case, we always start. Lynn Samuel says, Ivan needs a haircut. Ivan needs a haircut. You are absolutely right, Lynn. Thank you for pointing that out. Everyone wanted to know that. Everyone knows that if they're watching. Ivan needs a haircut. Ivan's waiting just a little bit. Ivan got a brand new ball cap the other day. I got a hat. That'll help me ride it out a little bit longer. I am shooting for a modern, kind of updated mullet kind of thing. So I need a little hair in the back, so I'm waiting for that to accumulate. I'm probably getting good up through the top here, but we're going to skin down the sides and everything. So I'm going for something. So I do need a haircut, but I'm waiting it out. Thank you for bringing that to everybody's attention. $100,000 haircut is where we start. It's become a tradition with my educational classes that we start with a reading from $100,000 Haircutter. As I said, today is 8/17. Let's turn to 8/17 and see what we got. Got a lot of people checking in today from Milan. Good to have you folks. Always happy to have my Milan friends checking in and attending some of these live classes or programs. All right, here we go. August 17, day 229 of the year with 136 days remaining in the year. Maintain your license and continuing education credits. This is about getting legit, staying legit, I guess, once you're legit. Know the rules and follow the rules. Keep your license current. At minimum, earn the continuing education credits required for license renewal. Not all states have CE requirement. Where I live in Illinois, we certainly do. Other states may not. Keep your paperwork up to date. Save the receipt from the payment for your license renewal. I got a fishing license. It's folded up. It's in my wallet. And if I'm fishing, I got that license in my back pocket. If you're hair cutting, boom, it's on the wall. Let's not play games with this kind of stuff. Display your license in accordance with state regulation. Now, again, this varies from state to state. Where I live in Illinois, there is not a requirement that the license be hung on the wall visibly. However, I know there are other states, I use as an example, I know in Ohio, there's a requirement that for everyone in the building working, the license must be hanging on the wall in a highly visual spot in accordance with whatever those regulations are. So know the regs, follow the regs. That's kind of the way that works. High fines and loss of work time can impact your business. You just want to avoid this stuff. Being shut down by the state. All right, does that sound familiar? I wrote this a long time ago, pre-COVID. Being shut down by the state and having that fact posted in the local newspaper is a sure way to scare off some folks. Again, licensure is so important in our industry at this point in time, and following the rules, being licensed, staying up on your continuing ed, posting the license as is required. Those are just all good tips, folks. And that's what $100,000 Haircutter is about. One idea a day, every single day, 365 days, plus a bonus week, plus 2 additional monthly Focus Topics chapter. If you do not have your copy of $100,000 Haircutter, Amazon.com, of course, ivanzoot.com. And if you want it digital, if you want your $100,000 Haircutter tip of the day digital, that's a thing. And that's on my Patreon page. Again, in my Instagram link, if you click on my links, you'll find one that says join the community or join the tribe. Again, I'll put it in the comments on this video later. I'll load in a bunch of this stuff for people looking for links. So if you're watching this on replay, just go later, go to the comments, and you'll find the live links for these things. On my Patreon page, I post the tip of the day every day. So if you're a subscriber, every single day, you're getting that tip digitally. It saves you looking in the book. I know a lot of the people, almost everyone who subscribes to the digital version of this already owns the paper as well. So it's all about how you like your information. You know, I launched the podcast. Many of you have heard me talking about that. There are people out there that just don't want to read. There are people out there that want to listen while they're on the treadmill or jogging or running or biking or whatever they do. You get your information the way you like it. You take it in a way that works for you. All right. Trinidad and Tobago, or Trinidad actually, checking in this morning. Barbero, good to have you here. A long way away in the beautiful tropics. Far from here. I'm sure it's a beautiful day in Trinidad. It's a beautiful day every day. And it's a beautiful day in Chicago. I hope it's a beautiful day where you are. Today's topic, the topic of the week. Remember, Monday is this class. Tuesday is the blog post, Wednesday is the meeting, Thursday is the video, and Friday is the podcast. The topic of the week this week is making walk-ins work. And what we're talking about here is the idea that we have been told in the post-coronavirus lockdown era not to take walk-ins. No walk-ins. Don't do walk-ins. And it's not always a reality. It's not possible for everyone. And there are people being told no walk-ins who've never done anything else. They've never taken an appointment. Their business model is a walk-in business model. What to do, what to do. What is a haircutter to do under these circumstances? Well, let's talk about a couple things. And that's the topic of the week. Number one, this is not the law. This is not the law. Nowhere that I am aware of has there been legislation drawn up and passed to say that walk-ins are not okay. It's not the law. It is a recommendation. You can follow a recommendation or you can ignore a recommendation. That's up to you. That's entirely your choice. But please know it's not the law. No one anywhere that I am aware of has said to anyone, we've passed a law, it is illegal to serve clients on a walk-in basis. Please understand that. Now, that being said, we want to remember what we talked about last week in our program on the bump and the slump was the importance of optics, the importance of the appearance of the way in which you are conducting your business, the importance of the appearance of your sanitation principles and practices, and your client flow behavior. This is what we're talking about. Client flow through the shop. How do you get them in, get them served, and get them out? So no, it's not the law, but it's a recommendation. And optics are key here. Let's back up and talk about the intention. Why? I mean, you got to ask why. Anytime anybody tells you something, a rational person, even if they think they know, is going to want to pause and say, wait a minute. Why? Help me understand. That's one of my favorite lines. Help me understand. You know, I tell a story all the time about a gentleman that I worked with who I admire a great deal, whose favorite sales tactic, he was a salesman with me when we worked at a company together, and his favorite sales tactic was to stroke his chin while listening to you and then say, help me understand. Now, the funny thing was he always knew. He always understood what you were saying, what you were doing, and why you were doing it. He was a smart, insightful guy. But his tactic was to say, help me understand. He would come off as inquisitive. He was like a Lieutenant Columbo kind of guy. He would come off as curious. Help me understand, was what he would say. And then he would ask you questions about whatever it was you were talking about. And in the process, either you would explain it really, really well and he would totally understand, or you would come to realize that you were wrong and you thought your own way through the problem. It was fun to watch him sometimes. So, no walk-ins. Help me understand what's going on there. The intention is to eliminate a crowd of people in the waiting room. The intention is to eliminate a situation in which people cannot maintain safe social distance. The intention was to reduce the number of people in a small space. I get all that. I'm good with all that. I like all that. And I agree with all that. Now, what do we do about it? What do we as haircutters do about it when we want to, optics, we want to appear safe? No problem. We do want to do that. We want to eliminate congregating in the waiting room. We want to reduce the chance that people can't be socially distant. We want to reduce the number of people in a small space. But I want to run my business. I want to do what I got to do to take care of people. And specifically accepting, acknowledging, and recognizing a couple of things. Number one, there are businesses out there that always have been and always will be pure walk-in environments. People are not going to be making appointments. People are not going to be hitting designated time slots, so to speak. And there are people whose lives and lifestyles cannot and do not accommodate appointment-based service delivery like that. So that's the intention behind the idea. And we know the realities of our work situations. Many people run a blended environment in which they take appointments and they take walk-ins. And we'll talk more about that in just a minute. So here are some ideas. Number one, think of them not as walk-ins, but think of them as walk-ups. They're not walking in, they're walking up. To some extent, how can we handle some of these folks outside in the fresh air and sunshine? Number one, we can run a list. Clipboarding. I've always believed in the idea of having a clipboard with a piece of paper on it. Today, under these circumstances, you can go to the hardware store and buy a big old suction cup with a hook on it. Boop! Stick it right on the front door or the front window. Hang a clipboard on that hook with a pen on a string. And you tell people with a sign, put your name on the list and we'll serve you an order. Name and phone number. Phone number's great for this. Cell phone. Client walks up, signs the sheet, goes and waits in their car, or stands around outside in the beautiful fresh air and sunshine. I know that won't work well in Chicago in January. That's another conversation. But they sign up on the list. When you finish the client in your chair, you take their money. You go to the door with them. Bye-bye. You go to the list. You look at the next name on the list. You pick up your phone and you text the next client. Hey, Mike, got a spot for you. Come on in. Now you go finish up your sanitation. He gets out of his car. He finds his way in. He sits in the waiting area by himself for just a moment. And when you're ready, you call him over. You plop him down. You cut him up. You toss him out. And the process goes over again. That list, hanging outside, hanging on the door, hanging on a clipboard, works beautifully. The next idea on the list is to manage that list on the phone. If you have reception staff, if you have a desk, if you have the ability, even if it's just you in the shop answering the phone on your own, and we don't like those interruptions during haircuts, but they are what they are, you can run that same list on the inside. You can advertise and promote. You can do YouTube videos. You can tweet. You can communicate on your Facebook page and your website, letting people know, call ahead, and I'll put you on the list. And I'll text you when the chair is open. Do not commit to a time. This is not an appointment. It's queuing. We're just going to put you in the line. And, by the way, as I'm wrapping up a customer, I can look to the list. I can text the first name on the list. Hey, Mike, got a spot for you. Good to go. Come on to the door. And if Mike's not ready or available, I can move on to the next name on the list. And Mike would just stall at the top of the queue. This is called the next up system. You can have clients either call in, or you can have them walk up and sign in. And assuming your space can accommodate it, you can even have clients walk up, walk in, sign a sheet that's indoors. When it gets to be December, January, February in Chicago, not a lot of people want to stand outside, take off their mittens, sign with a pen where the ink has frozen because it's 48 below in the town where I live. Some of these things are not going to be as practical when we get to the winter months, but I think you can follow me here. Next up service is that same idea. And by the way, I want to make sure you know there are electronic systems out there for managing some of this. Now, we're not up to date quite yet in the beauty industry, but I'll tell you where you can go to find some really great digital tools. Because we're going to use texting. If you have a booking app, you can work with your booking app. Now, folks know that I have a relationship with Booksy, And Booksy has not incorporated in this functionality yet. But if you work with a booking app that has this functionality, I want to know about it. And we want to share it with our listener and our viewer community out there. But very popular now in the restaurant industry are apps that allow for the queuing of wait lists. If you go, I Googled around to find them, and they're there. There's lots of them. If you go on Google and you type in restaurant wait list app, restaurant wait list app, boop, search, you'll find a ton of them. These are apps for your phone and for a tablet that allow you to build and manage a electronic wait list for walk-in traffic. Now, it's hospitality, which means it's going to work in food service and it's going to work in haircutting and many other hospitality environments. But the idea is it lets people queue into a wait list. It lets you click a button and notify people via text where they've signed up that, hey, you're next up. Hey, be ready. Hey, present yourself at the desk. Hey, you've got a wait of approx. Some of them can estimate wait times based on how fast you're turning people through the app. There's some really cool gee-whiz technology out there in the wait list category in food service that I think is worth a look-see for some of us in haircutting. All right, now, let's talk about some of the things you can do to make walk-ins work within your environment. We've talked about how to handle them. What about actual practical handling of things? You know, this was brought up by a statement in a class about the idea that guys don't want to make appointments. And I don't necessarily think it's fair to call this by gender. I don't think it's a guy thing. I think it's a busy people thing. And there are busy people of countless gender. It doesn't matter that you're a guy or a girl or whatever. I think there are busy people whose lives don't accommodate appointments. There are people, you know, and with kids at home for school and people working from home, life has gotten weirdly, isolatedly hectic, if that makes us, you know, we're not going anywhere, but we're busy. It is what it is. It's busy people. Here's a couple things I think you can do. Number one, streamline your service offerings. Let's talk about, can we shorten the timing on our services? We still want to deliver quality customer service. We still want to deliver quality technical work. We still want to deliver an experience that matches our environment and our price. We want to get that balance exactly right. But are there things we can do to speed up or streamline the process? Couple examples. Number one, a lot of full-service barbering has gotten rid of the face shave. No beard line and edge, no face. You shouldn't be doing that at all now. You can't do it with a mask on. It is just not safe. The beard trim and the facial hair should all be on the no-fly list. Just cross it off on your menu temporarily. Don't be doing it. We shouldn't be doing it. That's number one. That'll cut some timing down on a lot of men's haircuts. Number two, maybe the hot lather, razor shave, sideburn ear area neckline. Maybe that is something that needs to be put on suspension. Maybe it's a key part of your service and you absolutely don't want to let it go. I respect that. I understand that. Maybe it's something that right now, clients, you know, if we're doing a really great job with a good modern trimmer, we're fine. Remember, there are people in places that do not do straight razor neck shaving at all. All they do is a really good trimmer. So it's not necessarily diminishing the service. Washed and ready. Maybe we want to eliminate the shampoo. Maybe you don't shampoo it all already. But maybe if you do, you want to encourage people to arrive washed and ready so that they have been shampooed, towel dry. All you got to do is hit them with a water bottle, good to go. That may be a way to streamline the customer experience under coronavirus, minimized walk-in. How are we handling customers, making walk-ins work terms, circumstances, and situations. Another one we want to talk about is designating staff. If you are not somebody working alone, if you're not a one-chair operation, if you're not a suite situation, one conversation might be to designate either staff or hours or days for walk-in work. A couple ideas. Example, walk-ins Tuesday, Thursday. That's the only time you take walk-ins. To be able to dump the walk-in behavior into an isolated time frame so that we can handle it smooth, so it's not jumbled into the flow of everything else that we're doing. Days of the week. Times of the day. Maybe the rule is walk-ins before noon. We do all our walk-in traffic before noon. That gets your seniors in and out. We've talked about potentially the idea, again, from a optics standpoint, for putting people's mind at ease about having senior hours. When those individuals deemed to be more high risk can get out, get it done, and get away so they can reduce their concern over their potential risk. Not a bad idea. So, days of the week, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Wednesday, I don't know. Times of the day, mornings or late afternoon into the evening is walk-in time only. You know you and your business. You know your clients and you know your environment. And when it comes to something like this, you know what will and will not work. But these are some things to consider. The other thing to consider is perhaps designating team members. Like rotating the days. Jimmy, Tuesday. Bobby, Wednesday. Sarah, Thursday. Jennifer, Friday. Mikey, Saturday. You're the walk-in guy or girl. You're the walk-in person. That you have a team member. Not necessarily the hours that, hey, Jenny's taking all the walk-ins today, so we're going to let her burn through that crowd while we handle our appointments, again in the interest of smooth flow of clients, smooth and successful and effective service delivery. Last thing I want to add to the conversation about making walk-ins work, it kind of ties into all this. It ties into using an app. It ties into expediting service flow, and that is taking plastic. Credit cards are speedy, especially systems that retain credit card information on file. I want you to pause for a moment, and I want you to think about the last 20 seconds, the last time you took an Uber or a rideshare, a Lyft or something. We don't talk about the money. There's little or no interaction with the money. The money is honestly nothing more than click, click, done. The driver clicks that the ride is over. The passenger clicks payment, maybe a gratuity. Boom, done. It's over. That's it. They've created a really smooth-flowing, seamless interaction with regards to payment. I think that's something our industry is looking to and looking towards, and it can be a time saver and a flow enhancer and a savings in the environment or situation. Questions? If anybody's got questions or comments or contributions, this is the topic, making walk-ins work. We're going to talk about it on the podcast this week on Friday. Now, the podcast, it's up on Spotify and about 10 other places where you can subscribe to it. If you go to my website, ivanzoot.com, on the landing page is an icon for the podcast. If you click on there, you can download and you can subscribe directly there, or you can go to any of the podcast hosting platforms that are listed on the podcast. And I think I've got about 8 different places where the podcast is currently published and many more coming. The iTunes, Apple world is coming soon. They're usually not the first one to adopt a new podcast, but it's coming. We've got the blog post tomorrow. We've got the meeting on Wednesday. Lots more opportunities to talk about this. So if anybody has questions or comments, I encourage those questions and comments. I'm going to load up some links when I get off of this broadcast. I promised you the links for the book deal and the registration for the wait list for the Academy and the 7 consultation skills PDF and I said there's a lot of the podcast. I'll get you all these links in this video very, very shortly. I want to thank everybody for showing up today. I want to thank you for being here as part of this. If you love the program, give me a thumb, give me a comment, and share it and subscribe so you never miss anything. This is on my Facebook page, right on Facebook, in that community where we're always online here, trying to help you build and grow your business, trying to help you be a $100,000 haircutter. Thanks for tuning in. There'll be another class like this coming up on Monday morning, every Monday morning, because this is what I do, and I'm here for you anytime. You got questions or comments, just reach out. I'm happy to help. Thanks for being here. Have a great day.